Alright, we got a shaft here. Starts off as 2-inch material. It's got to go down to 40 millimeters, 1-inch 574. It's for an excavator of some sort. I guess the factory one has a hole in the center of it for the grease to get out, and that's where they keep breaking it. So the guy that got me the job said to make one without the hole. I guess that means no grease, I don't know. Maybe he's going to put the grease hole in, maybe something smaller. I really don't understand, but I don't need to. So what I ended up doing was I had a piece, he needed it to be 14 inches long. Just by luck, I had a piece of 2-inch that was, I think, 14 and maybe 3/8 long. So I just cut a little bit off in the saw, passing and facing it off. Threw it in the lathe and started munching it. My thought process here was to hold on to a piece of it and try to machine as much as I could just to get it roughed down. The finished size was 1-inch 574, 40 millimeters. It's taking about 100 thousandths a cut, somewhere around there. And took me a couple passes to get through the, I guess, through the scale. I got underneath it a little bit, and then once I got underneath it, chips were coming off real nice. Didn't have to really adjust the feed. The actual video was probably like nearly 50 minutes long, maybe a little bit over that. So I tried to speed it up as much as I could because, like I said, this thing is 14 inches long. And I didn't want to go right down to size in case it got a little warm and decided to twist or bend or get its weeble wobbles into it. So I brought it down to, I'm pretty sure I brought it down to 1-inch 600, 1-inch 605. I left somewhere around like 25 or 30 on it. I think I wasn't holding on to much here. I thought probably like maybe 2.5 inches, the width of the jaws. That's what it was, because the 2-inch, I have a 2-inch spindle in the machine, but with the scale on it, I think it's actually 2-inch 010 that you can get in there, if as long as it's something nice, like 2-inch TGP will slide in there nice. But this one had some scale on it, some hard material, so it barely didn't fit in there, and I'm not the dude to just kind of make it fit in there. So I held it on the width of the jaws and machined the rest of it. And I think the jaws are probably in the neighborhood of 2.25, 2.5 inches long, something like that. So I'm probably machining like 12 inches, something, 10 inches. I don't know, more than 10, but about 12 inches or so. There's a DRO on this machine. And I just checked it with the veneer, and probably I think what I did was reset it to make sure everything was good. But as I get down closer, obviously I use a micrometer. I'm going to stay quiet for a little bit and let you guys just watch. Alright, so I got the one side roughed down. Taking the other side, I'm going to make sure it's pretty concentric. So I'm tapping it around, make sure it runs good, it's indicated. Quickly face it off. Blend it in the OD, I can't Actually, I guess I center drilled it first. Here I'm just blending in the OD. I think I brought it right to the other size, about 1 inch 605. We had a nasty burr on there, like a ring that rolled over into the bigger diameter. Didn't want to come off, so I decided it'll come off with the tool. I'm bringing it more than halfway out. My plan here is to machine roughly about like 7.5 inches, and then I'll stay a ways 1/4 inch on my finish cut away. That way when I flip it to blend it in, I could actually see how close I am. Here we get the real instruments out. And we're measuring. That's a confirm, because for some reason this micrometer, I've adjusted it, but no matter how you look at it, it looks like the lines are oddly wide. So when you go to line up, you don't know if you're on the 75 increment or the following 25 increment. So I'll measure it so I know it's a mic. It's done with a mic, and then I confirm it to make sure I know where exactly I am on the mic. I have another one. I probably should just use that one. Sometimes you just get attached to certain tools or instruments in this trade. I have drills that have been with me for probably 25 years. This material was a little funny, kind of like tore more than it cut. Reminded me of Inconel. Still got a good finish on it, but sometimes you just expect more. And when you don't get it, I wouldn't say you're disappointed, you just shrug of the shoulders and move on. Checking for taper. Getting some of those weird high spots off. Probably even creating some too. There's an emery cloth. Now we do the other side. Making sure that she runs good by indicating it. This part was a little braid. I was taking off the little part that I couldn't get to because of the center. When I put the center drill in to hold it, because I couldn't get it into the chuck, so it was out probably like a foot. Can't remember what RPM I was running this at. I would say probably 755 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 6 to 7 thousandths per revolution feed rate. If it wasn't 755, it was 1255, but I'm pretty sure it's 755. We're getting close now. The one side that's inside the chuck now, because it fits, is finished. So this is being machined to be blended in. And if all goes well with no taper, this machine is actually pretty good with taper. Sometimes it amazes me how good it is. Because with these little machines, any little adjustment, any little load, almost feels like if somebody puts their elbow on it and leans on the tailstock, it'll move. But it's really good. I made some custom foot pegs to be able to dial it in. It's probably I think that's the first project I actually did for the lathe, was kind of get it Mickey Mouse close to the ground level. And then I made some custom foot pegs that adjust. My floor is actually pitched in 30 feet, roughly about 3 inches. And the machine had a 6 foot length, just over that, like 73 inches, I think. And you can notice there's quite a difference in the height just to make it level, because I put it in place of the machine's level. Back to the video, but what I'm doing here is I was a couple thousandths big, and I didn't want to take a cut, because if I take a cut and that tool starts going forward and backwards with a couple thousandths, and it'll end up looking like a record, and it'll be groovy. So I just took the file and munched it down. I hit it with some emery cloth afterwards to get rid of any type of rough spots. And I'm pretty sure I checked it the whole way down with the mic. I'm doing a little fortune telling here, and everything was good. Don't really let anything go out the door knowing it's not good. People do make mistakes, but a mistake you don't know about, an error, and you keep going, that's kind of like a bad business practice. I think that was it. Yeah. Alright, so we went from a 2-inch piece of solid steel to a 1-inch. I think I was going to face off another little bit, but then I noticed it wasn't what I was seeing. But we went from a 2-inch solid piece down to a 1-inch 574 40 millimeters pin. If you guys like, please subscribe. It'll help out. Thanks, and have a good day.